Let's speak about object-noun clauses in English. This is Gareth Williams, the CEO of Skyscanner, and these are his ideas. People will travel to Mars very soon. And underwater explorations will be very popular. So Gareth thinks that people will travel to Mars very soon, and he thinks that underwater explorations will be very popular. The sentences "people will travel to Mars" and "underwater explorations will be very popular" are called object-noun clauses. Let's take a closer look at them. So we have some ideas. Underwater explorations will be very popular, and people will travel to Mars. Who thinks that? Gareth thinks that. Now put the phrase "Gareth thinks that" at the beginning and we will have a complex sentence. Gareth thinks that underwater explorations will be very popular. Gareth thinks that people will travel to Mars. And we have the main clause, Gareth thinks, the connector that, and the object-noun clause, people will travel to Mars. It's called an object-noun clause because the sentence "people will travel to Mars" is the object of the verb thing, and at the same time it acts as a noun or a noun phrase in the sentence. And inside the clauses we have the standard word order. In the main clause, Gareth is the subject, number 1, thinks is the verb, number 2. And in the object-noun clause, people is the subject, number 1, will travel is the verb, number 2, and to Mars is the object. You can also omit the connecting word that, or take it out of the sentence, without the change of meaning. Look, Gareth thinks people will travel to Mars. This sentence is correct. In such complex sentences with object-noun clauses, we use the verbs think, believe, say, tell, feel, hope, agree, decide, and some others. More examples. I believe that this is a great hotel. She hopes her holiday will be wonderful. I know that they arrived yesterday in the morning. By the way, you already know something about relative clauses. For example, the book that I'm reading is very interesting. So what is the difference between a relative clause and an object-noun clause? A relative clause, for example, that I'm reading, is connected with the noun of the main clause, like here, the book. And an object-noun clause is connected with the verb of the main clause, like in this example. The clause that people will travel to Mars is connected with the verb thinks. But they look very similar. The book that I'm reading is very interesting. He thinks that people will travel to Mars. Gareth is sure that people will travel to Mars. He's certain that underwater explorations will be very popular. These sentences are a bit different, but again, we see here object-noun clauses. Instead of the verb, we use here the combination be plus adjective. Is sure, is certain. Repeat after me. He's sure that people will travel to Mars. He's certain that underwater explorations will be very popular.